For longtime 90 Day Fiancé viewers, Courtney's story is familiar. She entered the franchise hoping that love could lead to something meaningful. But her journey also exposed how unpredictable relationships can become when emotions, expectations, and reality collide. Years later, seeing her name connected to marriage rumors naturally makes viewers curious about how much her life has changed. One of the biggest talking points is the possibility that Cortney has kept major details about her relationship away from the public. Reality stars often share selected parts of their lives online, while keeping other moments private. That can make even a normal life event appear mysterious when fans suddenly discover new information. If Cortney has secretly been preparing for marriage, it could explain why some viewers feel as though the news came out of nowhere. A wedding is not a small decision. It usually represents months or even years of conversations, planning, emotional preparation, and commitment. If Cortney really has reached that point, there may have been an entire relationship story happening away from television cameras. That possibility has made fans revisit old memories. Many viewers remember Cortney as someone who experienced disappointment but continued searching for happiness. Instead of allowing earlier relationship problems to define her forever, she has had opportunities to grow, learn, and make different choices. That is why a possible marriage announcement feels so significant. It would not simply be another celebrity wedding. For fans who have followed her journey, it could represent a major personal transformation. But then the pregnancy rumor enters the picture, creating an entirely different level of speculation. A pregnancy announcement would obviously change the conversation immediately. Suddenly, the focus would shift from relationship status to family, responsibility, future plans, and what comes next. However, there is still a major distinction between a rumor circulating online and an announcement coming directly from the person involved. That distinction matters. Social media can move incredibly fast. Someone can post a question, another account can repeat it as a possibility, and within hours, the story can appear to be confirmed even when nobody involved has actually made an announcement. This is especially common with reality TV personalities. Fans see a photograph, notice a change in appearance, read a cryptic caption, or discover an old post and begin connecting the dots. Sometimes those theories are surprisingly accurate. Other times, they are completely wrong. So, while the pregnancy speculation has generated attention, it should not automatically be treated as fact. The same caution applies to the idea that Colt was genuinely stunned by the news. Colt and Cortney have a history that viewers remember, but that does not necessarily mean every current rumor has anything to do with their present lives. People can move forward after appearing together on television, and former cast members may eventually have very different priorities. That is why the phrase Colt stunned should be viewed as part of the dramatic framing, until there is a direct reaction from Colt himself. Still, there is an interesting emotional question underneath the headlines. What happens when someone from your past reaches a major milestone without you? Sometimes the reaction is jealousy. Sometimes it is surprise. Sometimes it is simply the realization that both people have moved in different directions. Reality television often freezes people in the memories viewers have of them. Fans may remember old relationships as though they are still happening, even when years have passed in real life. Courtney's rumored marriage could therefore remind viewers that reality stars continue living their lives long after the cameras stop rolling. And that may be the most fascinating part of this entire situation. If Cortney has genuinely found a partner she trusts and wants to build a future with, the most important story may not be Colt's reaction at all. It may be Courtney's own evolution. She has experienced public relationship drama before. She has dealt with criticism, expectations, and the pressure that comes with having personal decisions discussed by thousands of strangers. Choosing to keep a future relationship more private could actually be a sign that she wants something different this time. Then there is the possibility of returning to television. A major relationship milestone can make a former cast member attractive to producers again. If Courtney's life has changed dramatically, fans could eventually see renewed interest in her story. A wedding special, a reunion appearance, or even a short update could generate enormous curiosity. But nothing should be assumed until an official announcement arrives. For now, Fans are left with several unanswered questions. Is Cortney actually married? Who is the person she may have married? How long has the relationship existed? Where did the pregnancy rumor begin? And has Colt actually said anything about the situation? Those questions are keeping the discussion alive. What makes the story particularly compelling is the contrast between Cortney's past and the future fans believe she may now be building. The person viewers remember from earlier 90-Day Fiancé episodes may not be the same person she is today. People change, priorities change, relationships change, and sometimes the biggest surprise is discovering that someone has quietly moved on while the audience is still discussing their old story. If Cortney's marriage is confirmed, fans may ultimately look back at the rumors and realize that the wedding was only the beginning of a much larger personal transformation. If the pregnancy claim is also confirmed someday, that would make the announcement even more significant. But until then, the responsible thing is to keep the distinction clear. Marriage rumors and pregnancy claims should not be presented as confirmed facts without reliable evidence. For Colt, the situation may also become a reminder of how quickly old reality TV connections can return to the spotlight. One headline can bring years-old relationships back into public conversation. And that is exactly what appears to be happening now. Cortney's possible new beginning has captured attention, while the mystery surrounding the pregnancy rumor has made fans even more curious. The next major update could answer everything, or reveal that some of the biggest claims were never true in the first place. Either way, viewers will be watching closely. The story surrounding Cortney has opened another conversation among 90-Day Fiancé viewers, and this time the focus is less on her past and more on what her future could look like. Whenever a former cast member suddenly becomes the center of attention again, fans naturally begin searching for clues. Old interviews are revisited, social media posts are examined, and even small changes in someone's public life can become the subject of intense speculation. That appears to be happening with Cortney. The possibility of a marriage has encouraged viewers to look at her journey from a completely different perspective. Instead of remembering only the relationship struggles associated with her time on television, fans are now wondering whether she has finally reached a happier and more stable point in her personal life. That would be a major change. Reality television often captures people during stressful moments. Viewers see arguments, uncertainty, emotional conversations, and difficult decisions, but they rarely see every ordinary day that happens afterward. For Cortney, the years outside the spotlight may have been filled with experiences that the audience knows very little about. That is why a possible wedding has created so much curiosity. If she really has married, the event could demonstrate just how much her life has evolved since viewers first met her. The person appearing on television years ago may have had completely different goals and expectations from the woman she is today. And that brings up another important question. Why would she keep such a major milestone private? There are several possible explanations. Some reality stars become more protective of their personal lives after experiencing public scrutiny. Others simply want important moments to belong to family and close friends rather than millions of viewers. Privacy can also make a relationship stronger. Without cameras constantly following every conversation, couples can make decisions without worrying about how an audience will interpret them. If Cortney has taken that approach, it could explain why fans are only now hearing whispers about a possible marriage. But the pregnancy rumor remains the biggest mystery. There is a huge difference between a private relationship and a confirmed pregnancy. Pregnancy is deeply personal, and unless Cortney decides to make such information public, viewers should not assume anything based on photographs, comments, or online speculation. That is especially important because reality TV rumors can become exaggerated very quickly. One person may suggest that something happened. Another account may repeat the suggestion as a possibility. A third account may turn that possibility into a headline that sounds completely confirmed. By the time the story reaches thousands of viewers, the original uncertainty can disappear. That is why fans should look for direct statements before believing the most dramatic claims. The same principle applies to Colt's supposed reaction. There is plenty of history between Colt and the 90-Day Fiancé universe, but viewers should not automatically assume that he is emotionally involved in every news story connected to former cast members. Unless Colt personally addresses the situation, his feelings remain unknown. And perhaps that is the biggest lesson from this entire situation. A dramatic headline can create a story in someone's mind before the facts are even established. The reality may eventually be much simpler. Cortney could be happily living her life, while the internet has turned an ordinary update into a major mystery. Or there could genuinely be a significant announcement coming. Until reliable information appears, both possibilities remain open. What fans can discuss with certainty is the impact Cortney had during her time in the franchise. Her experiences became part of the larger 90-Day Fiancé story, and viewers became emotionally invested in what happened to her. That connection explains why even years later, people still want to know where she is and what she is doing. A possible marriage naturally creates excitement because fans want to see former cast members succeed after difficult relationships. If Cortney has found someone who makes her feel respected, supported, and secure, that would arguably be a much more meaningful development than any dramatic television storyline. And if she is preparing for a new family chapter, that would be an even bigger transition. But again, those details need confirmation. For now, the online discussion has created several possible scenarios. Maybe Cortney has already married and simply chose to keep the celebration private. Maybe the wedding rumor is based on incomplete information. Maybe the pregnancy speculation is completely unfounded. Or perhaps an official announcement will eventually explain why all these rumors started at the same time. Each possibility would tell a very different story. There is also another reason fans should remain patient. Reality TV personalities sometimes announce major life events on their own schedule. They may wait until everything is finalized before speaking publicly. They may share information through social media. They may reveal it during an interview. Or they may decide that certain parts of their lives are nobody's business except their own. Any of those choices would be understandable. For viewers, the waiting can be frustrating. People want answers immediately, especially when a headline contains words like married and pregnant. But waiting for confirmation is better than turning an unverified rumor into a supposed fact. The most interesting development may ultimately be Cortney's personal growth. She has already lived through a public relationship journey, and now fans are wondering whether she has found a completely different kind of happiness away from the cameras. If she has, that is something worth celebrating rather than simply turning into another piece of reality TV drama. As for Colt, his name will probably continue appearing in conversations because of the history viewers remember. But his current life belongs to him, just as Cortney's current life belongs to her. Their past may be part of television history, but it does not necessarily determine their future. The latest 90-Day Fiancé drama surrounding Cortney and Colt has fans asking one huge question. Could Cortney really be starting a brand new chapter with marriage and a shocking pregnancy revelation hanging over everything? The storyline has all the ingredients of classic reality TV chaos. A relationship that once seemed complicated, unexpected developments, emotional reactions, and a bombshell that could completely change the way everyone looks at the situation. But before jumping to conclusions, it is important to separate confirmed information from online speculation and dramatic rumors. Cortney has been a familiar face to 90-Day Fiancé viewers for years. Her journey has already included plenty of emotional moments, relationship struggles, and unexpected twists. That history is exactly why any major update involving her personal life immediately attracts attention from fans. Now, rumors about Cortney possibly getting married have created a fresh wave of discussion. If the reports and social media chatter are accurate, this could represent a completely different chapter for her. Marriage would be a major milestone, especially considering everything viewers have watched her experience in the past. But the biggest question is not simply whether Cortney may have tied the knot. The real mystery involves Colt. Colt has his own complicated history with relationships featured on 90-Day Fiancé. His romantic life has repeatedly become a major part of his reality TV storyline, and viewers know that unexpected relationship developments can create intense reactions. That is why the idea of Colt being stunned by news connected to Cortney has sparked so much curiosity. Imagine hearing that someone from your past has suddenly moved forward with marriage. Then imagine that the same situation is connected to an even bigger personal announcement. It would be enough to leave almost anyone speechless. And that brings us to the pregnancy bombshell. Online discussions have suggested that a pregnancy announcement could somehow be connected to this dramatic storyline. However, fans should be careful with such claims. Unless Cortney herself, an official source, or a verified 90-day Fiancé platform confirms the pregnancy, it should be treated as speculation rather than established fact. Still, the possibility has caused viewers to revisit Cortney's entire relationship history. Reality television thrives on unexpected developments, and pregnancy announcements are among the biggest surprises a cast member can make. They can completely change relationships, family dynamics, future plans, and even the direction of a television storyline. If Cortney were actually expecting a baby, it would obviously be a major personal development. Marriage combined with pregnancy would make the situation even more significant, potentially marking a dramatic transition from her earlier 90-day fiancé experiences into a new stage of life. For Colt, however, the emotional impact would depend entirely on the circumstances. There is no reason to assume exactly how he feels without hearing from him directly. A headline can suggest shock, but reality is often more complicated. Colt might be surprised, indifferent, supportive, or simply confused by the sudden attention surrounding the rumor. That uncertainty is what makes this story so intriguing. Fans have also been debating whether this could eventually become part of another reality TV appearance. Cast members from the 90-Day Fiancé universe frequently return in different seasons, spin-offs, interviews, and special episodes. A major life update can create renewed interest in a former cast member. Cortney's potential marriage would certainly give viewers plenty to discuss. Who is she supposedly marrying? How long have they been together? Was the relationship kept private? And if a pregnancy rumor is involved, when did the speculation actually begin? Those are the questions fans are asking right now. At the same time, it is worth remembering that reality TV personalities often become the subject of exaggerated social media headlines. A dramatic thumbnail or a viral post can turn an unconfirmed rumor into something that sounds like breaking news. That is why viewers should wait for direct confirmation before treating the pregnancy claim as fact. One thing is undeniable, though. Cortney's name is once again generating major conversation among 90-Day Fiancé fans. Her earlier journey gave viewers plenty of memorable moments, and now fans are wondering whether she has completely moved beyond that chapter. If she has found a lasting relationship and built a new life, it could be one of the biggest personal transformations connected to her time on the franchise. And then there is Colt. Whether he is actually involved in the latest development or simply being pulled into the conversation because of their shared history, his name has become part of the discussion. Fans naturally want to know whether he has reacted, whether they remain in contact, and whether this latest situation changes anything between them. Could this be the ultimate closure to an old chapter? Could Cortney's rumored marriage prove that she has finally found the happiness she was searching for? And is the pregnancy claim simply internet speculation, or is there a genuine announcement waiting to be revealed? For now, those questions remain unanswered. What makes the situation especially interesting is that the truth could be very different from the dramatic headline. The marriage rumor may turn out to be accurate, while the pregnancy claim could be completely false. Or there could be additional information that fans have not yet seen. Until verified details emerge, the smartest approach is to view the pregnancy portion as an unconfirmed rumor. Still, one thing is clear. 90-Day Fiancé viewers are watching closely. Cortney's possible new beginning has brought her back into the spotlight, while Colt's connection to her past has made the story even more dramatic. Whether this turns into an official announcement, a reality TV storyline, or simply another viral rumor, fans are already eager to know what really happened. And if Cortney truly has gotten married, this could be the start of an entirely new chapter, one that has nothing to do with the relationship drama viewers remember. The conversation around Cortney's rumored marriage has taken an even more interesting turn because fans are not only focused on the wedding itself, they are trying to understand what this possible new chapter could mean for everyone connected to her past. That is why the next confirmed update will be so important. If Cortney makes an official announcement, fans will finally know what is real and what was simply speculation. Until then, the mystery continues. One thing is certain. The possibility of Cortney entering a new chapter has reminded 90 Day Fiancé viewers that the lives they see on television are only a small part of the bigger picture. People move on. They rebuild. They find new relationships. And sometimes they surprise everyone by starting a life nobody saw coming. So while the internet continues asking whether Cortney is married and whether a pregnancy announcement is connected to the story, the smartest move is to wait for the facts. Because when the real news finally arrives, it will be far more powerful than any rumor.